Inside the walls, Get Fit Sports Performance and Boot Camp.
All right, Get Fitters, check it out. The talking's done. It's time to get it. Right from the start, eyes up, course tight.
Hi there, it's Melody Loomis with Kearney Chiropractic Center. We're here bringing you another community interview with one of our referral partners. And we are at Get Fit Sports Performance up in Harford County. We're here with the two owners, Richard Simpson and Jeffrey Brochu. They actually have two locations now. This one right here in Forest Hill, which we're sitting in, and now also in Havre de Grace, which has been open, but apparently they're having their first grand opening, ribbon cutting ceremony.
Official grand
opening. They had a soft opening earlier this year, and official grand opening this Friday, May 4th. So it'd be great if you watch this video and make it out to that. That'd be exciting too. So we're going to talk about some of their programs that they run here, and we're going to talk about how chiropractic and how our patients could benefit from each other, right? Because our goal at Kearney Chiropractic is to keep people moving through life, and so rehab, the exercise rehab, is such a crucial part of our program with every patient that comes through our office. No matter how often you get adjusted, you have to keep those muscles rehabilitated and strong, or else you can keep forming subluxation. So that's where you guys come in. So the first thing I wanted to touch on is you guys actually have a youth performance program. So tell me a little bit about that for young athletes.
Our youth sports performance program, we get into anything from speed to agility to reaction, flexibility, and anything in between that an athlete needs or that an everyday person in life needs. We like to have well-rounded athletes, from, again, the competitive athletes all the way through the fitness boot camp athletes, the everyday mom or dad that comes through the door. So we just help get the bodies well-rounded to help avoid injuries, keep people living life, if you will.
So what age range is this specific for middle school, high school, college?
Yeah, we're 5 through professional, 5 years old through professional.
Really? As young as 5?
Absolutely.
Wow, okay, so and then you have different different groups.
Yeah, absolutely. We train athletes of all ages. Summertime coming up is actually the biggest time of year that we're training hundreds of athletes at that point. Anybody from 5 years old through our college athletes coming home, getting ready for school the next year. Yeah.
Right. And the program is specifically a conditioning program for people that play sports?
Absolutely. Strength conditioning and sports specific.
Sports specific.
Yes.
So I want to touch on this for parents because this has been a hot topic of in the last decade, I'd say, with all of the technology that has come on. One of the things we've noticed more and more over the last decade, and this is just through our office, is the idea of more increased inactivity in children as opposed to where we were 30 years ago when we didn't have as much access to technology. Would you say that this conditioning program is almost like crucial for kids to avoid injuries these days?
Absolutely. I mean, I would say that with the way that we use progressions, and we all our athletes, even we consider our boot campers that come here as well athletes, and we tell them from the day one that we're going to condition you in a progression to get your joints, your muscles, everything acclimated, especially if it's something that you haven't been used to doing, and over time your body will adjust and adapt to that intensity, to that pressure, to that heavier weight, to that force, that torque, that movement. But our biggest goal is injury prevention for everyday people for life and for our athletes. So we want you guys to come in and really get your joints, everything acclimated through a progression.
Right, and so when I looked on your website, I thought this was more specifically for school athletes, but now what I'm hearing is that anyone can just get off the couch and come out. I mean, at any point in life. I mean, having a young child, like my whole body has changed. So like even just saying, hey, I'm a young mom, and
Absolutely.
I'm starting to feel old. I'm in my 30s or my 40s, and I want to get back. I want to get back into shape. I want to get back into that level of activity I could do in my 20s. So you're saying that not to be intimidated, that even parents could get into this.
Oh, absolutely.
And participate with their kids.
It's never too late to start. Your body is meant to to survive and do certain things that we are capable of, that we just from sitting around and sitting on the couch, sitting at the desk for so long, we get adapted to doing that. But as soon as you introduce your body to movement and what it's supposed to be doing. It says, oh, this is what I want to do. You know, this is what my body was made for. And you know, it comes back and adapts in a, 2, 3, 4 weeks and says, this is what I want. You know, our bodies want to move. So
that's awesome. And did you have something?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Rich specifically mentioned progression systems, and regardless of what age or what level you're at, there's a way to get to that optimum level or that maximum level. And you mentioned the injuries heading into sports. The underuse injuries is what we're referring to here. You go from 0 to 100 because once day one starts, the coaches are ready for you to be full speed, show what you got. And that's our bodies. If we haven't been doing anything for, I don't care whether it's years, months, weeks, your body's not going to be ready. And it's easy to snap anything if you go from 0 to 100, from doing absolutely nothing to 100. And we have progression systems, which is where Rich mentioned injury prevention is the key component to everything we do. You may run 4 sprints on day one and build up to doing, and I'm just giving an example here, doing 15 sprints in that 6th week at full speed or and build up distances as you're going along with that. So if you go from 0 to 100 yards at full sprint, you're doing 10 sprints day one of practice, that's a whole lot of oomph on a body that hasn't done anything. So the progression system, the way that you're getting into a workout and progressing through from day 1 to, if you're a boot camper, year 3 matters. If you're an athlete getting ready for football season, lacrosse season, whatever the case may be, it matters where you are day 1 and where you end up week 6 to what you're going to do on day 1 of that practice, because day 1 they're ready for you to be in shape, and if you're not, an injury is apt to happen.
Right.
We like to call that building a foundation for whatever it is specific to what you're doing, whether it's life or whether it's a sport. Building a strong foundation to build up from that. And have just like a house, if you don't have a strong foundation, it's going to crumble, get injured. Same thing as for a person.
One of the things we concentrate on first and foremost is core stability, and what we like to refer to core stability is perfect posture.
Right.
If you have perfect posture, you have core stability, because absolutely everything is supported. We're upright, shoulders back, chest up, nice tight core, know how to engage our glutes, our hips, our hamstrings, know how to engage everything. And we have specific movements, specific lifts, and specific areas of concentration that in every movement we're doing, we're keying in on that type of technique. And that's also something that's not learned in a day.
Right.
So if you go out and not preparing for that, the likelihood of getting hurt might not just have to do with underuse, because you could have lifted weights all summer, or even ran all summer, or whatever the case may be, but were you doing it right? And that matters as well.
Right, that makes sense. And now that you talked about the progression, the way that you progress through it, it makes sense that it's not just kids that are sitting on their phones or on their Nintendo systems or Xboxes all summer or all year round, but it can even kids that are out running around and playing can also benefit from this, because this is a progressive conditioning system. This is training, it's specifically to avoid injuries on the field. So, and injuries are all too common in sports because the coaches, they don't understand that. So if there are parents watching, I just want to really encourage you guys, if you live in Harford County or Baltimore County, look these guys up, because they run an amazing program that you should be getting your kids into. And then let's transition and talk about the boot camp for a minute, because parents, you can also participate in this. So you bring your kid, you don't have to just drop them off and go to Panera Bread or Starbucks while they're, don't go carbohydrate yourself out while they're getting fit. You can get fit too with these boot camps and or personal training, right? So you guys do kind of a little bit of everything. So tell me about the boot camp.
Go for it.
Our boot camp is for your everyday person. We like to consider all our Get Fitters athletes. So we train our boot campers in here just like we do athletes. So we do agility movements, strength movements, quickness. We do conditioning. We run. We do a little bit of everything, full body, high intensity interval training, and just try to get throughout the week it's programmed through that, so that you're hitting every single body part. You're not again crushing one body part, throughout the whole week.
Right.
But you're spreading it all out.
And are they all at 6 a.m. or can the non-morning people participate after they've had their coffee and a few bottles of water? Right?
Our classes are throughout the day, and depending on location determines the time. But in both locations, we're 5:30, 9:30, 12:10. And then in the evenings, our times switch a little bit. But between the 4:30 and 7:30 hours, we're running boot camps.
All right, parents. So even you can come after work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Before you hit Panera Bread on the way home. Get that glycemic load. All right, so and then you do a little bit more with like personal training as well, right? So for people that want to go the extra mile, we know you've sent us patients that we've been working with consistently that do personal training with you, one of which has even been a contender with the UFC, which is amazing. And we're super proud of him, and he's been amazing as a patient too. So tell us a little bit about your personal training. If you want to go the extra mile more just than sports or just getting back in shape, if there are people who actually want to do something professionally in athletics.
Yeah, we have again, from your athlete to your everyday fitness pursuer, if you will, in personal training, and it's a dynamic where it's really personalized. We do a lot of the same movements in our fitness boot camps, but then if we have goals that we're trying to hit, we put everything in a goal-oriented system, a specific progression system.
Right.
So whether it's a Shelton Braves that you mentioned, or an Dean who Rich is working with right now, who's big into her 5K runs, her half marathons, that type of deal, and we're looking to keep her body first and foremost preventing injury, and then in addition helping her hit the best times that she's ever had. Whatever your reasoning is for pursuing personal training, we do have that dynamic as well. And we're just as on fire to hit everybody in fitness boot camp and make note of, hey, we need those shoulders back a little bit more. We need that chest up. Just one-on-one is, we're just all in. We're all in with everything we do, but one-on-one is obviously eyes are glued in on one person, and our desire.
You can't get away with anything.
That's in the personal training, right?
Absolutely, you can't get away with anything. Our desire and our goal for whatever we do is for everyone that walks through these doors to achieve their maximum potential, their specific maximum potential. Not looking to the left, not looking to the right. Where are you, and what are we working on? And
that's
it just, we do have personal training, but we also have fitness boot camps. We run fitness kickboxing classes. We run weightlifting class, and hone in on our athletes in a significant way.
So more than just boot camps, do you also have group exercise?
100%.
Group exercise classes.
Yes. It's funny, before you walked in, Rich and I were having a conversation, reading over your questions, and I said, we're all about the mind. That's what, first and foremost, we're about the mind. It's anything and everything that we care about, anything and everything we do has to do with the person and not the fitness, the person and not the athlete, the person going out and just being the best that they can when they leave these doors. And these core values these are our core values. These are what we live by.
The main one is coachability, being coachable, and that's just, you're on fire to listen, to be glued in, to hear what your instructor's saying, and anything that you're trying to learn, you're going to be on fire to get after it and learn it. And then we have selfless, which is caring about the person next to you and helping them along the way. You're doing your thing, you have your goals, but you see somebody else struggling, you see them, you pick them up.
Everyone matters. Everyone matters.
And then we have mental toughness, the ability to give our best always, even when most would give in. So when other people are doing different things, especially when you come to your athletes, and you're going home after practice, or you don't feel like getting that one more rep, or mentally tough enough to get that one last rep.
Fearless, willing to attempt anything in front of anyone. We say max effort to the end, to the end, and then we're finishers. We're finishers to the end, never short, never short. Doesn't matter how we're doing, doesn't matter if we've struck out 3 times. One of my main men, I'm gonna give you a shout out right now, Jesse Fenner. Doesn't matter if we struck out 3 times in a game, doesn't matter if we made 3 errors in a game, we keep going. We keep going to the end, and then we hit the game-winning run in. Then we get the last strikeout of the game in. And when we have that attitude of, no matter what happens along the way, I'm still me, and I still have the ability to get better and better and better, and I have the ability to be unbreakable, good things happen. And that's what finish to the end.
That all ties into one big word, which is confidence. And confidence is part of what we talk about with the chest out, eyes up, shoulders in, good posture.
You're like,
and that
do better here.
Better
posture.
Well, I mean, yeah, the same thing. We preach it and teach it so much. You know, even in my car, if I'm stopped it over, I'll say, "Oh, Richard, get your shoulders back, get your chest up," and that really promotes and preaches and projects that positivity and that coachability and all the core values that we talk about.
Everything is about life. So whether it's a sport that someone's playing, whether it's someone coming in here to get, their goal might be to get fitter or to look a specific way. For us, it's not about that. It's completely about who are you really? What is underneath absolutely everything? When you're a mom, when you're a dad, when you're a husband, when you're a wife, when are we only good up to a certain point, or do we finish to the end?
A Get Fitter is coachable, selfless, mentally tough, fearless. A Get Fitter is a finisher.
Hey guys, we're back again here in Harford County at Get Fit Sports Performance and Boot Camp. We are in the Forest Hill location. They're having their grand opening in the Havre Grace location this Friday, May 4th, ribbon cutting ceremony. Come join us for that. Check out their website for more details. We just wanted to touch on a few more things to wrap up this interview with them and get to know their business a little bit more. And one of the first things I noticed when I walked in here was there are just affirmations all over the place. They just really make you feel positive and uplifting, and I just couldn't help but notice that it's very different from the typical gym feeling. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's awesome. You notice that. That's our core values, and the mental side of things comes before. Nothing else matters without the belief in oneself and the belief in others. And what you're looking at here are our core values.
Now, and we were talking in your office earlier about how so many people look at these gyms and these training things as just a physical development, to change your physique, change the way we look on the outside. And many people see it as very vain, but you guys have a different mission, and that's why you've reached so many more people of all different shapes and sizes. So what separates you in that?
Yeah, I mean, exactly what you said. These are tools for hopefully changing many, many lives as husbands, as wives, as employees, as parents, as mothers, as fathers, to not simply being good enough with who we are, not simply being who we were that our parents had, but getting better every day. And where we have weaknesses, because there's not a person in the world that doesn't have a weakness that they battle daily, that we look to overcome, get better in that weakness, get better in that weakness, get better. And in some areas, make it a strength. In some, it might be a lifetime weakness, but we, through being coachable, through being selfless, when we're caught up in our weakness, oftentimes it's because we're selfish, not selfless. So,
right.
Whatever word it has, I'm finished to the end. Maybe I'm doing something that I'm a debacle and just over and over and over and over, I'm dropping the ball. But because of our attitude here, what we're fully bought into, we don't give up. We dig, and our lives are changed, and we're finding in our personal lives, but then in the lives of the people that we have the ability to and the good fortune to work with, that they're overcoming things that never would have dreamed.
Right.
It's
We like
amazing.
to use fitness, like Jeff said, like you said, as a tool, and we use that as a tool for people to come in and to instill positivity in them, and then that goes off to trickle into their families, their spouses, if they coach a team, their work, and just instill that positivity, instill that confidence, because if you instill that confidence in people, then they can feel confident projecting that positivity onto others,
right.
and helping the people around them out.
So you're training the minds as much as you're training the body.
Absolutely.
More so.
Yes.
And that is what separates Get Fit from your other boot camps, from your other gyms, and your other personal training centers, your group fitness. Is it's more of a transformation within your mind. Believe in yourself, yes. and the physical part will follow.
Absolutely.
Right.
And the belief in yourself, it's not selfish in any way. I don't want to make that clear.
Right.
That's why we have selfless on the wall. Everyone matters. Coachable is our first, and once you get something, then the next step is it's time to share that something.
Right.
We don't walk through these doors because we're about ourselves.
Right.
Maybe initially, but once we get what it is inside of these doors, then it's time to share and welcome the next person.
Right. And just to transition to along the same lines, every professional sports team has a chiropractor on the sidelines, right? And that's what we do, and that's how we are referral partners with each other. Our job is to get people moving through life, or keeping them moving through life. That's our whole mission, and that's what we do at Kearney Chiropractic Center. So we make our patients take a very active role in the rehab part of their healing process, and then to get them back on the field. You have a kind of a unique testimony. I just wanted to wrap up by having you share that, how you got into that through chiropractic.
Yeah, I want my testimony to be based, it's awesome you say that, but I want my testimony to be straight. Dr. Loomis, Kearney Chiropractic, unbelievable. I what was it, about 7 or 8 years ago now?
8 years ago.
8 years ago. I was a debacle. I've had back surgery. I've had major shoulder surgery. Body ravaged with tendonitis. My groin was severely pulled on both sides from time spent doing martial arts. And Dr. Loomis is Melody's husband. I had the good fortune of, when they first opened the doors, being
literally when we first opened the door, like one of our first patients ever.
being an everyday client, and he spent months with me just digging in. My groin, I couldn't walk without re-tweaking, re-pulling, re-aggravating my groin. Everything was a mess, and with these amazing little tools that hurt me like crazy, we battled.
Side note, that's called Graston technique, or instrument-assisted soft tissue technique.
A Graston technique is phenomenal, and Dr. Loomis takes everything he does to a whole nother level. I am in a position today and able to move today in a way that I never fathomed. I was in a different industry at the time, with fitness always being my love. And I was in a different industry because I couldn't move. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
And over a 3-month time period, black and blue inside of my thighs, to where if anybody had seen that outside of Dr. Loomis, they would have been like, "What in the world is going on?"
It doesn't hurt that bad. Don't scare people.
No, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. Today. No, it's amazing. It's amazing. I'm not saying that in a scary way. It is absolutely amazing. The all-in effort, the all-in approach that Dr. Loomis and the entire staff from Kearney Chiropractic puts into you is amazing. And because of that, you mentioned professional athletes. Any professional athlete we work with, they're going to Kearney Chiropractic, or our full attempt is, hey, you need to make them part of your monthly basis, your weekly basis. Get in there, let them keep your body rolling. And then anything that they assign, we end up doing in our personal training sessions.
Yeah, and it's true, because that's why chiropractic helps athletes perform better. Perform at their top, like push themselves beyond their limits. Optimal functioning of the nervous system creates optimal performance on the field, on the mat, in the gym, wherever you're at.
And I just want to say that I never met Dr. Loomis, but had the pleasure of meeting you, Melody, and this guy raves about Dr. Loomis all the time, and just sending everybody down to him, and all the good things that he's done, and just not even just from a chiropractic standpoint, but just like his mentality, his mindset, and his grit into what he does and what you guys do. So I've heard all.
We love working with your patients because they're fully integrated into their treatment, and they're passionate about it. And that's why we love working with athletes. Dr. Loomis is a martial arts instructor himself. That's his background. He's been doing it since he was 11 years old. He's been training, and he's always a student, even though he's a teacher, always a student, that mindset. And so he loves working with athletes. And so chiropractic, just integrates so well with that. So we love being referral partners with you guys, and we just wanted to get the word out about Get Fit and help everybody in Baltimore County or Harford County. I mean, it's not that far from Baltimore County, just to come up here and give this place a try. This is an amazing place, and I think we're even going to join ourselves. So thank you so much for joining us. We're going to put their information on. Don't forget about Friday night, the ribbon cutting ceremony. And have a great day, guys. Thank you so much.
Melody, thank you, guys.